Hey, what is up, guys? It is the Honor Trader here. It has been quite some time since I have uploaded a video, and I decided to just come back and essentially try to document my new kind of outlook on trading. If you guys do not know, I have been very successful and very blessed to be able to day trade for a living. And now what I am doing is I'm actually transferring a small sum of money out of my center point account because I want to try something out, right? The goal is to exponentially grow. It's roughly about like a $30,000 account. I'm transferring that into an E-Trade, and I will be essentially, I will be going from day trader to swing trader, right? I've been studying the likes of Qual Maggie, the Real Simple Ariel, Nick Drendel, I believe his name is, People Wish. And I've just really wanted to kind of dive into swing trading rather than intraday trading for multitudes of reasons. One, swing trading provides much more ability to make more. Like, you get the ability to really scale into some positions and make, I mean, essentially like 100x more than you would if you were just intraday trading. So because of that, my goal here is just to document growing a small account into a big swing trading account. Now, I'm not a fan of doing small account challenges. I know that people are going to be like, oh, well, $30,000 is not really a small account. But, you know, compared to like what's in the center point of my day trade account, it really is. So my goal is to document, you know, essentially kind of starting from scratch. And the reason why I'm doing it this way, by the way, is also because of the fact that this is going to be kind of my first time really diving into swing trading. And I fully understand that there comes, you know, some sort of kind of like, you can mess up a lot more, right? Like, my win rate intraday trading is high, right? Because, you know, you're essentially scalping momentum. When you swing trade, from what I've looked at and from who I studied, it seems about like the normal batting average for these individuals is anywhere from like 25 to, I mean, at the high end is like 40%. So I'm going to have to get comfortable losing, and it seems like losing a lot. So like, I'm coming from a you know, day trading wise, I'm coming from a place where I was winning more than I was losing. And I mean, the R multiples weren't really crazy, like, you know, 3-1, maybe like 2-1. Sometimes you take 1-1s and they work out depending on the setup and stuff like that, day trading wise. But when it comes to swing trading, you know, things that I learned from like Ariel and like Qual Maggie is they like to utilize like, you know, the day's lows as the stop, or the day's highs if they're shorting as stops. A couple of things that I'm gonna go ahead and explain here to you guys really fast is, one, you'll see in my watch list, because I am gonna break down my whole watch list. But what you're gonna be able to tell immediately is you'll be able to see how I've kind of created the landscape of my watch list, kind of what Ariel would call his universe list. You guys are gonna see really fast, oh shit, this is like an Ariel way of looking at things. And then you're gonna see, wait, there's a couple of names that Ariel would not trade because they're under the 200 daily moving average. Here's the thing, right? You know, you don't have to copy like your favorite traders and whatever niches they trade. You don't have to copy exactly what they do. You can kind of finagle your own situations, and kind of you know, trade that. Now, the majority of my premises and the majority of things that I'm going to show you guys, it's all going to be essentially strategies that, you know, he's gone over, which is Ariel, Qual Maggie, People Wish, Nick Drendel. I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. But I'm going to go over my watch list. I just wanted to share with you guys, the account is most likely going to be funded sometimes because I'm taking the money out of center point, which is just a partial. And then I have to fund it through E-Trade, and E-Trade takes about 3 business days. So I don't even think I'm going to be actually eligible for trading, because today is May 3rd. I probably won't even be able to swing trade this account like throughout this whole week. Like, because I have to take out the money from center point, which takes about a day or two. Then I have to transfer it, which takes about 3 days. Yeah, so this whole week, I'm not more than likely going to be touching any of these names, which you're going to see a lot of these names do have earnings that I am looking at. So I wouldn't be touching them anyways. It's just keeping my eyes on them. But anyways, this is going to just be full documentation on a day trader who has found success day trading, transitioning into swing trading with kind of the market. I think it's market post, if I'm not mistaken. I'm sitting here saying all that, and I'm in Ariel's Discord. So let me make sure I get the name right. Here we go. Yeah, so it's a market post. Yeah, so I am in Market Post's Discord, which is Ariel's Discord, People's Wishes in there, Nick Drendel, a bunch of really good traders. Judah from IU's in there, Ed Barry's in there, a lot of really, really great traders, and even like up and coming guys that are in there. And yeah, so let's just get on to the watch list. I know I'm on a tangent and a ramble. It's just been quite some time since I've done this. So let's go straight into the watch list. The first thing I'm gonna go ahead and look at is ANET. The reason why I'm looking at ANET is because we have a very nice base over here. As you can look left, we gotten over these highs on the year. So we're sitting near 52-week highs. I really like how this is looking. And as you can see on the weekly, it looks really, really good as well. You're getting this wick right here from basically the previous high. We pull up a monthly, and you can tell that this is the previous all-time high now, right? We got this swipe up. So all I'm really looking for here is, as you can see, I got some price alerts. What I would love to see is this thing kind of stay within a range, right? And kind of just slow grind for the inevitable, shouldn't say inevitable, but for that pop over 179.80s for me to go ahead and get a swing in, or if it can make like a high tight flag, or, just a really good like level, like if it can build like higher lows. If this is ranging around here, and this daily 21 starts creeping up and it taps it, maybe it just undercuts it a little bit and then rips back up and then gets over 179, or even if it does the undercut and rally, if it can get like somewhere up here, if this thing moves sideways and it catches up, maybe it undercuts to 20 and then rips over. And I would love to take any undercut rally on this name for the break of 179.80s. I also want to go ahead and explain right now. QQQ is on an absolute bender. SPY is also on an absolute bender. So, what does that mean for me? Well, what that means is that I have to be very, very smart here when I am getting into positions, because it can be any day that these names come back, right? Like they can come back down, and we can kind of move sideways. Who knows what can happen, right? We're in a very high news like market right now. Like we're getting the Iran situation and all of this stuff happening, and who knows, how long that's going to be affecting. But the market's just showing, hey, as soon as we broke out of this base that we held for such a long time, like as soon as we ripped over these highs, it just has not really looked back. And I say that to ensure that when I go over these names, you guys understand that if this market pulls back and things like ANET, right, like things like this, like flush out and somehow get back to the daily 50 or whatever, I am not partaking in that, okay? I will find whatever sector is strong and even whatever sector might be weak, and I will short it, and or I'll just wait for a nice pullback to get into some names like ANET. So my plan on ANET is fairly simple. I want to see this kind of range out a little bit more, and then hopefully we can get through that 179.80s. If we break over this, I like the longs over this level, and then if ideally I would like the 20 to catch up. We undercut the 20, come back over, I get in, and I use basically the day's low as my stop. I really like this name. This name looks really good. Let's go ahead and pull up SANM. SANM looks really, really good. Same kind of, all of these charts, guys, they're going to look identical, right? So we have SANM. This looks really good, kind of same type. It has that base. We pull up the weekly. Weekly looks clean, right? You pull up the monthly. Monthly looks like it's coming into some resistance here. So we just got to be cautious about this. This is one thing that I wanted to make note of, guys, which is why I have the monthly, weekly, and the dailies on my time frames. Because I like to see names that are breaking all-time highs on the monthlies, the weekly, and the daily. I like all of it to be together. You see, this has some overhead resistance. This is from a very, very long time ago, and I'm sure that, it looks like this thing was still carrying some volume. So there's no outlier volume coming around through here, as for back here as well. So, like, the volume bars don't look crazy. So we don't know. We just know that this is breaking out of 52-week highs. It looks good. It's trading clean. So same thing, price alert above 230, 56. I'm interested. If this thing could get tight as well, maybe do an undercut rally as well. Let these moving averages catch up. I have this on watch for that. I'm not playing it for this week. This is something that I just want to keep my eyes on. CLS, same kind of situation as you guys can see. You guys pull up the weekly. Look at that. You pull up the monthly. Look at that. This is what I like to see, guys. I like to see the daily breaking out. I like to see the weekly breaking out. No overhead resistance. This is the type of name that I really, really like. If we can get over this 426.55s, or we can get tight and undercut and rally the daily 20, maybe build some sort of high tight flag, whatever the case may be. And we kind of did already do an undercut and rally right here, right? We undercut the 20 right here, reclaimed, and after that we just, it's kind of hammer candle right here and then lift off, right? So, we'll see how this looks. But this thing looks like it's ready to go. That looks very, very good in my opinion. UI kind of looks like a high tight, like little flag, right? You got the pole, and then now it's building that kind of flag, right? So I do like this name. Let this thing, it already looks like it's claiming over the line here. So I want to just see how this thing builds out. If it gets over this high right here, I am very, very interested in getting into this name. This name looks really, really good. Let's pull up the weekly so you guys can see what I'm looking at, right? This looks, oh my God, this is a 4 hour. This looks really good. Look at how the highs are. Let's pull up the month. Look at that. This is what I like to see, guys. These are the type of things. I want to pull up the monthly. I want to see the monthly at all-time highs. I want to pull up the weekly at all-time highs, and the daily all-time highs. This is really good. I really like this possible setup for the week to come. Now, will I be able to trade this name? More than likely not. So this is going to be absolutely, it's going to be kind of ass. But what can you do? What can you do? UEC. Now, this doesn't look like it's breaking out, but it has like a kind of a, like a I guess a cup and handle ass thing, right? I wouldn't even really say that though. You just get like this high, right? You get this low, you get a high, and now you're getting this higher low that's been grinding off of this daily 200 SMA. Look at this incredible trend line here, right? Look how incredible this looks off that 200 daily SMA. I am looking at this name for possibly longing, right? And I'm looking for a break over 1512. So that is what I'm kind of looking for. I want to see this thing break 1512 and then us get a nice rip. Let's see what the weekly looks like here. You see how this is kind of like, you see how this looks? People could state that, oh, this is a head and shoulders and this is probably the bear flag. We'll see what happens, right? But this is a uranium name. It looks kind of good. I do have a couple of uranium names in my watch list as well. You'll see there's a couple more that's going to be coming up. But I really like this low and then this higher low, right? This is the low. This is the higher low on this 200 daily moving average, which is this yellow line. And look, it even undercutted a bunch of these moving averages and then just slight gap up. Oh, man, my camera just went out. Slight gap up. Oh, it's back. Slight gap up and moved up. That looks really, really incredible. I really like how that looks. So that's on watch for the week. This name kind of the same as what was that, CLS, where it has that high tight flag. You get this pole move, right? And then you get kind of this thing here, high tight. If it breaks over this trend line, I do think that this could be a possible long opportunity. I would, in an ideal world, love the 20 to start catching up. Maybe we get a nice undercut and rally. But this is definitely on watch. The weekly looks really, really good. And then the monthly as well. So Kalu, I really, really like. Looks like a good name. This name here, monthly, looking kind of, you know, got some overhead resistance. It looks like weekly, looks clean on the weekly here, right? Daily, look how it's building here. So we're getting this slow kind of move down, down, down. Tap into the daily 50. We got a couple of lines here, right? It's getting bought up. You can see these little wicks getting bought up on the intra, or you know, on the daily price action. See these bottoming wicks. So essentially what I want to do is I want to be able to just draw a line here, right? If this thing can get above 60, more than likely I will probably size, like if this gets above 60, my price alert goes off and this looks interesting, it has relative strength intraday wise, I will probably size in enough to sustain maybe a possible undercut and rally on a 50. So I think that I would size in an amount where if it goes to the 50, I'm not stressing, and I can work with maybe an undercut and rally. So let's say hypothetically, if it's sitting around here, this will probably be my stop somewhere around there. So I just have to size in accordingly. And if it let go of this spot, I would just get out of that position. But that's kind of what I would be looking for if this thing could get over 60. Yeah. You know, someone like Aereo or like Qual Maggie, they would get into the position assuming, like, let's say it breaks 60, right? They would get in and then use the intraday low as their stop. That's where I kind of, you know, they kind of lose me a little bit because, like, everything could look really, really sexy and you just get in and it's like, all right, well, you go down on your position, right, for maybe a day or two, and then it really, really lifts off. I've seen people get stopped out a multitude of times because they had the right thesis, they just didn't allow enough wiggle room. I understand they clearly know what they're, you know, doing, right? I learned from both of these guys, right? So they clearly know what they're doing, but I would add, you know, a bit of like, all right, well, let me not size as much, right? And then let me go ahead and be able to use a proper stop. I don't want to use an intraday stop. And even, guys, as I use intraday stops, right? Let me pull up a 5-minute real quick, or in any minute. Let's just pull up a 15. My stops are never going to be the intraday low. I will never use an intraday low as a stop. My stop and my sizing will always, if I'm going to play it as an intraday trade into a swing, my stop is always actually going to be prior day's low. Not the intraday low. I want the prior day's low, which is going to be this yellow line. This will always be my stop out. I don't want to use the intraday. I want to use the prior day as my stop. So everything has to be sized in according to that when I do long. Just wanted to go ahead and share that with you. MP's also on watch for me. I know Ariel's already in this position. So I am not currently in it. Probably not going to be in it at all. You know, because I'm going to probably more than likely miss this opportunity being that transferring money around. But MP looks really, really good. I like this as a possible kind of just like I mean, would you consider this like a flat base breakout if it can break out of this level up here? Like, I kind of do. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's getting it, you know, it undercutted that 200 daily moving average. You have all of the moving averages under it. You have that ascending daily 20. You know, this daily 200 is kind of like flattening a bit. I mean, it's definitely ascending, but on this end right here, it's kind of just flat. You know, the 50 looks like it's perking up, you know, so I like this name. Ariel's already in it, like I said. It's probably going to work out well. I'm more than likely going to miss the trade. Rio looks really, really good. This is kind of like a flat base breakout, right? Like if it gets over 101, this can really, really look good. The only problem is this name does not have a huge range, right? That's one of the issues with the ADR on this name. It is a slower mover. But, dude, sometimes these slower movers can run. I mean, look how slow this thing is. But, like, you know, you blink, you know, 4 or 5 months down the road, you know, this thing has rode the 20, the 50, the 10 daily moving averages all in one. Like, you're looking at something that you could have 2 times your size on. And my camera's going out again for some reason. So I'm looking at this as a flat base breakout. Look at the weekly. The weekly looks pretty clean. The monthly, when we pull up the monthly, see some overhead resistance over here, right? You got this gap fill here as well. So it looks like it might actually be trying to fill this gap, possibly this gap. But this looks very, very clean. Most people look at the daily, so this is what most people are actually looking at. I just go a step ahead, or this is the weekly. I just go a step ahead and pull up the monthly just so I can really, really see. But Rio looks pretty good for kind of a flat base breakout, or people could see a double top here. I don't know, but if that breaks over, I like it. XPO looks really good. I like this for a possible break over this trend line here. Let's pull up the weekly. That's how it looks on the weekly, monthly. That looks pretty clean to me. I do like how this looks. So this is definitely on watch. If this could get over that, or this trend line, or if we can get kind of a, you know, this is kind of under the daily 20 right now. So if we somehow can open up and rally over, oh my God, if we can somehow rally back over the daily 20, I will absolutely love this for a possible rip back above if this does do an undercut and rally. Or for all we know, it can come down to the 50 daily moving average, undercut it and rip up, kind of like how it did here, kind of like how it did here. I mean, these are opportunities, but look how it's been riding that 50 daily, guys. I mean, all of these are essentially like, look at these undercut and rallies on this 50. Look at this. Undercut, 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 undercut the 100 and the 50, undercut 200. Like, you know, looks clean to me. I like it. I like that. I think this is trucking, I believe. I don't, what sectors, I'm gonna have to check my market pulse on this. I forgot what sector this was in. But I had this on my watch as well. Let me pull up for a second. Oh damn, I don't even have my theme scanner up. Never mind. I believe this is trucking. I could probably just Google this, but it doesn't really matter. This looks really, really good. I like how it's kind of, you know, building a really, really nice base. Hopefully we can keep getting some chop between, you know, this level up here and this level down here. Let this daily 20 kind of rise up. Let this daily 50 start trending in the right direction as well, which is already, you know, this stock is just trading in the right direction. And I really, really like this name for a possible breakout over the highs. Now, this does have some resistance. So we'll see how this ends up looking. Let's look at the monthly. Yeah, I mean, this looks fairly clean. You know, it's not too bad. So I have this name on watch for the possible break. I would keep this tight, by the way. If it breaks over that, I would keep it really, really tight. Dow. I like this name as well. Nice little firm up here. It undercut the daily 20, got to the daily 50, undercut rally on that, got a bid. So let's see if this thing could kind of just firm up, move sideways a little bit, and get that break above. You know, that's what I want to see Dow do. Let's pull up the weekly, see how this looks. Yeah, you see, I wouldn't mind it getting over kind of this little pivot right here. You know, I would be really, really sick. Let's pull up a monthly. Yeah. Yeah, that looks good. I mean, this is kind of like a double bottom in my opinion. A monthly double bottom. Right? Like, that just looks like a monthly double bottom. This might be able to just rip. Very clean. And my EMA, this EMA cloud's now, the 6 EMA on the monthly is now crossing the 20. So, very, very bullish here. Looks pretty clean. I'm a fan of that. That looks good. I think Area had this on watch as well. This is really clean. Kind of looking like the SAIA kind of move where you want to just have this break over the all-time highs, or base out and let these moving averages kind of do some of the work for you. These are the names that I like to kind of like trade, right? Everything's trending. This is a fairly new stock. The 200 SMA is not even active. The 100 daily just came up, so still fairly new. But if this can kind of break over this 84.44, could be a really good name. Now, I want you guys to understand that this is all just based off of however the market wants to go ahead and react. You know, so if everything wants to pull in, man, everything pulls in. Nothing you can do about it. Teradyne, really nice here. Had an undercut of the, you know, it flushed out the 50. Got a nice, you know, you would say this is a slight gap up, but it really isn't a slight gap up. This is a nice gap up the following day. And then you get this rip back above the 50 daily moving average. You're still under the daily 20, and now the daily 10 is kind of descending a little bit, but it still looks very clean. The weekly looks nice, right? Like, you pull up a monthly as well. Monthly looks very clean. Just a big top wick up here, but you know, it's trending in the right direction. The daily's trending in the right direction. It has rolled this for a long time, so seeing it either go sideways or break levels, you know, is what I'm kind of looking for. MCHP. Same thought process. This is already on a fucking bender, right? So excuse my language. The weekly looks really, really clean. Monthly, let's pull this up. Monthly looks very clean. It looks like it's ready, right? It's primed to go. You just gotta have the market's been right. So it's been the right condition for these things to moonshot. So, and it's also in, you know, the chip sector. So good name. Dude, I can't believe I'm actually doing all of these right now. This is crazy. Nice little you know, essentially hoping that this is not a double top here. Let's pull up the weekly. See how all of this is kind of resistance here. I want to see this pivot level get blown through, and then I want to see how things are going to go ahead and react. Obviously, this name has been kind of beaten on the monthly, but look at this pivot here, guys. If it breaks through these pivots, I mean, we might be good to go. Might be good to go on this. So I have that on watch. It's not like a main watch. Just have some price alerts and seeing if this thing ends up working or not. ALM. You know, this is a chart I like to look at. Notice how, you know, these are just on highs, right? Nice little name. I want this to go sideways a little bit. Maybe get that daily 50 to come back, curl up. Maybe we can get an undercut on it, or we just move sideways, allow it to come back up. And then we rip through 2179, 22s, whatever. And then we go back for that all-time highs. I like how that name kind of looks for some continuation. CCJ. This looks good. Let this thing work out sideways. Keep moving up. I mean, I'm going to just start basically breaking this thing down like like Ariel does. Ariel just, we need more sideways. Go. Next name. Like, I'm about to just start doing that, bro. But this looks like it could go sideways a little bit more. Let these things kind of move up. The moving averages move up on it. Breaks through a level. I'll utilize that. And yeah, so that looks really, really good. STLD. Nice little base. Look at how these wicks are coming in. This looks very good, guys. This looks very good. Amongst one of my favorite charts on my watch list. Look at this. Look at this. I mean, amongst one of my favorite charts on my watch list, guys. If this thing can keep soaking, it just looks like, dude, it just looks like players are buying this. Like, look at these wicks, right? It just looks like there's accumulation here, right? Like, look at this. Wick. I mean, it just looks like someone is accumulating STLD. I love this. This looks very, very good. Very clean. If this thing could get over 230.94s, use prior day lows as my stop, this could be an absolute banger. Absolute banger. No doubt about it. Same kind of thing with this, right? Let this move sideways a little bit. Maybe break over 29. Maybe let the 20 catch up a little bit. But Hewlett-Packard is looking pretty well. Let's pull up the weekly. Weekly looks good. Let's pull up the monthly. Monthly looks great. You notice how my favorite names, the monthly, uptrend, weekly, uptrend, daily, uptrend. All of these things, those three, when they match, that is what I'm looking for continuation. I just have to now wait on the proper entry, guys. That's all I'm waiting on now. So it's just on the proper entry, and hopefully some of these names can wait until the following week so that I can start my swing trading career, right? So I can start my swing trading career on the right side. CRDO, look at the monthly in a nice uptrend. Let's pull up the weekly, nice little uptrend. We actually had a nice little flag here, right? That would have been incredible. But look at this. This is moving pretty well, right? I would love more dips into kind of this area right here. Give it, or even not even, it doesn't have to be there, but just give us like little dips, you know, 170s, you know, let these moving averages come up, move sideways, and then get going again. I really, really like this name. This name looks good as well. This name kind of same, move sideways, break out. Let's pull the weekly up. Look how the weekly looks. Look how the monthly looks. Notice how my favorite names all have these correlating factors on it. Some of them don't, but the majority of the names that are going to be on my watch list have this kind of... And look how this thing has rode the 50 daily move. Undercut, 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 rip. Like, undercut, rip. Like, dude, it's living at that 50, taps in, goes under, reclaims, goes. I mean, bro. You get into those names, these are giving you some setups, man. These names, we're in that type of market. Kind of got this little flag thing here on cores. So, got this name on watch as well. If it breaks over 21, I might like it for previous day low stop. Or if this thing wants to move sideways and then break out, I like that as well. Looking at this name, same way. Look at the weekly, looks clean. Look at the monthly, looks clean. Guys, you guys are getting the picture at what I'm looking at. These are the things that I'm trying to find as a guy who's trying to dive into swing trading. Iron. This is a name a lot of people have on watch. This is I feel like it's a retail heavy name. Like even my buddy that I play like Fortnite and shit with, like he even talked about Iron. So does this have kind of that following that like Palantir had back in like 2020 or whatever the case may be when it really started and no one really knew what it did, right? Does this have the same shit? I don't know. I just follow charts and this looks fairly clean. If this thing can break through that trend line or honestly, I wouldn't be upset if people just get positioned in lightly around this area. Honestly, I wouldn't be upset. And you kind of, because here's the thing, right? This is just a long base, guys. Like, right? This ripped up. Right, let's pull up a monthly. This thing has ripped up several months in a row, and now it's just sideways. Right? Like, it went sideways for 1 month, 2 month, 3 month, 4 month, 5 months. Like between here and here, like, it's just been range bound. So, like, eventually, right, you would hope that this thing, I mean, as long as it's over the 200 daily moving average, daily 50, daily 100, and it seems like the daily 20's right there, daily 10's kind of pressed on it, Iron could be one of those names where you can see this break over this 50 and really get going again. So I have that on watch. This is where I want to state, this is where me and Ario kind of, and it's specifically on this name or specifically on great companies, Netflix. Netflix he has called this name a dog, right? He's called it a dog. And if you look at it, he's not wrong. But here's the thing, guys. It has held this bid right here. This gap up has been holding. If this thing moves sideways, holds this 100 daily moving average, and it just moves sideways, almost like it's accumulating, right? It's just accumulating, like someone's here buying it, right? But they're going to keep it sideways. I want to be part of that accumulation. I do. And then I can just put my stop maybe under the 100 daily moving average. Not everything, there's this saying that nothing good ever happens under the 200 daily moving average. You would be right. Right? But for a name like Netflix where it's like the company makes money, right? It's just been asked to trade recently. But if there's some accumulating factors here, I want to be in the name before it gets over the 200. Because what if this thing really gets going? Because when Netflix gets going, guys, it gets going. Like, let me pull up a 3-year. Like, when this name gets going, it gets going, guys. Like, look at this span right here. From the daily 200 tap to just running, guys. I mean, Netflix can do this, right? It can make this same move over here. It can. Now, the difference is right, this was tapping into the daily 200 while this one sub the daily 200. I don't know how far you have to go to really show, but look, if this thing starts basing, I'm not sitting here waiting on it to get above the daily 200, guys. That's where mine's and Ariel's kind of views on things. Depending on the name, depending on the pattern, depending on what's being offered, I will absolutely take Netflix under the daily 200 SMA, bro. No thoughts. Just have your stop nice and clean, and that's all you can do. Amazon. The last play here for me is Amazon, right? It broke over the all-time highs. I do think that this thing can get going. I would not be surprised if we see Amazon $400 or $500. I would not be surprised in the slightest. If the market is acting well, I would not be surprised. So let's pull up the weekly.
Weekly is exactly what I like to look for. Let's pull up the monthly. The monthly is exactly what I like to look for. So, with that being said, even if you weren't able to catch, by the way, I want to let you guys know, I do own Amazon from like a 205-ish in one of my portfolios. I actually asked Ariel. He didn't respond, but I asked Ariel about Amazon before he got into it. I think he got in on this day when it broke this high, and he's been riding it ever since. I'm in this trade from here. I'm not a swing trader. This is in my long-term portfolio. Right? Now I'm diving into swing trading. So, like, shit, I should have swung that. You know what I'm saying? I should have started my swing day, my trading career, you know, a couple months ago. But it is what it is, guys. I think it's just time for me to it's time for me to take a break, man. It's time, like, I wanna be able to put a couple of positions on, let them work. They go 30, 40, 50% in like 10 days or something, and then just take them off and then ride into the sunset, wait for another opportunity, man. I just don't want to sit around looking at charts, you know, almost the whole day, coming up with a new game plan every single day. Like, oh my God, it's just, it's been tedious. It's a lot more stressful, and I think that this type of trading style will allow me to relax a little bit more, which is what I kind of need right now. But with that being said, I still will be intraday trading, because you are out of your mind if you think, if an opportunity like CAR comes my way again, you're out of your mind thinking I'm not going to be trading this intraday. Like, I'm still going to intraday trade. I still have my center point that's going to be active, so I still will definitely intraday trade. But the majority of what I'm trying to do is, first and foremost, I'm going to have to earn the right to swing trade and claim that I'm a swing trader, right? I got to earn that right. This is just me being a novice, learning and really picking up what I've been studying from Ariel, Kwamagi, Nick, People Wish. I mean, the list goes on, guys. I follow a plethora of people that swing trade, and that's just where I'm at, you know, currently. I want to really dive in. I really want to soak everything in. I have contemplated whether I want to add Ariel Hernandez in this video or not. But bro, dude, is there even a fucking chance that guy even watches my video? This is 37 minutes long, bro. There's no fucking way he's gonna waste his time watching my shit. But that's all I have for you guys, man. Hope you guys enjoyed. I'm out of here. That's my plan for the week. Sorry for the language. I'm assuming most of you guys are adults. You guys should be if you're training anyways. But that's it, guys. I'm out here. Camera just went off again. I will see you guys probably tomorrow, honestly. Let's see how some of these names break down, and we'll do a little recap. And that's all. Later.